Before I begin, I just want to say this is a completely personal opinion-based video. You might agree, you might not. But based on a post I did about the Crysis Remastered trailer, a few people seem to not really get why I dislike the Epic Store exclusivity, so I thought I'd just do a video on it. I'm going to open a drink, and we're going to see how it goes. Okay, so Epic came out nearly 2 years ago now, saying that Steam had a monopoly and that they wanted to break it. And at that point, I was hoping for a price war and an overall better consumer experience in terms of both game pricing and launcher utilities and benefits. But oh boy, was I wrong. Epic started by announcing an 18% versus Steam's 30% dev sale cut. And if you sold an Unreal Engine title on the Epic Store, you wouldn't even have to pay the engine use fee. So it actually looked like it was going to be a great time to be any dev or consumer buying any game on the store, or specifically an Unreal Engine game. It looked like it would mean devs had the flexibility to lower prices while also driving more sales and actually making a profit at the same time. If they even did just that, as in lower prices to compete with Steam, from a personal point I would have probably caved and bought games on it, even though I detest the Epic launcher, as I've always had issues with it, and from what I've seen the functionality isn't great. Poor download prioritization to straight up just re-downloading games for no reason, as happened to me before. But back to the point, lower prices equals competition with Steam. I would have used it. I've already bought games on Origin, Bethesda, Uplay, etc, you get the idea. But they went to straight, no, you know what? We actually said we want to compete directly, but instead what we're going to do is we're going to throw money at big titles, we're going to make them exclusive for 12 months, and hopefully just force you to use the Epic Store, or wait a year, your choice. Which in a sense, yes, I get it, capitalism at work right there, and yes, it is competing in a totalitarian way, but it just removes all consumer choice in my opinion, and makes it so that it doesn't really seem like they want pro-consumer competition, they just want, you know, their monopoly instead. Buy it from us, or don't buy it at all, it's your choice. I mean, look at it this way, if Hitman 3 was, let's say, £50 on Steam, and £45 on the Epic Store, which is more likely for the average person to choose? Because for me, £5 is £5. If I can save it, I'm gonna do it. But they completely remove that competition and choice for the consumer, plus by reducing the price by even £5, it would actually still make the developer £2 more per sale on Epic, accounting for the 30% and 18% cut Steam and Epic take. And that's not accounting for games that have been made in the Unreal Engine, where they will actually make even more of a profit because they don't have to pay the engine use fee. But in terms of the year exclusivity, I've waited even entire years for things like Satisfactory to come to Steam to buy it there, and that's purely because I don't agree with the exclusivity of the Epic Game Store. It's one of the reasons why I never liked having a console years ago. It was just the exclusives, that and the fact that you need to pay to use your already paid for internet connection to go online, but that's another story altogether. Also, the recent reasons that have added to my dislike of Epic was their whole hashtag free Fortnite thing, but that's a bit more complicated and I don't really want to spend too long on that because it would take a long time to explain in detail. But the simple version is that Epic didn't want to take the 30% fee hits from the in-app purchases on both the Google and Apple Play Store. So they bypassed it, breaking both store rules, and then did a surprised Pikachu phase when they got booted off of both of them. I get why they want cheaper sale rates, considering they already make a minimum of about $2.5 million per day on the mobile sales alone, but weird way to go about getting a better deal by breaking both terms of service and then flipping off Apple with a propaganda video. Anyway, I hope that made sense. It's basically just how my opinion has grown over the last year and a bit about Epic, and it's kind of a shame because when Paragon was still around, if you remember that game, I do, I used to like the direction that Epic was going in because they had multiple games, genres on the go, they were growing in terms of how they were developing games, but they just kind of did a full-on U-turn, executed Paragon while it was still in the crib, and then just decided to try throwing their weight around, but not in a pro-consumer way. At least that's the way it comes across to me. The latest casualties are Crysis Remastered and Hitman 3. Both will now be a 1-year wait for me, which is a shame, but what can you do? It's basically going to be use our launcher or don't buy it. But that just about wraps up this video, so let me know below if you are pro or anti Epic Game Store and why. But this is the first episode of Talking Hit, and I hope to see you here for the next one.